If you don't like what we tell you to believe in, we'll kill you.
Hi everyone, my name is Aaron Marmon and I'm here to teach you some simple things you can do to build a better relationship with your dog. If your dog doesn't come to you, want to be by you, doesn't listen to you, there are just a few simple things you can do to really build a better relationship with them. Engagement is always the name of the game. Is your dog even care about you? If he's apathetic to you and doesn't want to be by you, we got to have some strategies on how do we get him closer to you. Step one is food. What kind of food are we using? Think of the highest value food you can start associating yourself with your dog. Think chicken, think steak, think hamburger. If you can start associating yourself with a high value food, we're going to start becoming more valuable in your dog's eyes. The next step is movement. The most interesting thing we can ever do with the dog is start moving away. This is why they chase the bicycle, they chase the squirrel, they chase the bag getting blown by the wind. We want to start moving away at a decent pace where your dog says, "Where are you going?" If we can get him to run after you, that's where the high value food comes in. We start moving away at a decent pace, feed the dog when he gets to you. That is our very initial strategy on how we start getting you more valuable in your dog's eyes. Move away at a decent pace, feed food. When you start moving, dog comes with you, food. If you can start becoming more interesting to your dog, we're going to start lowering the apathy. So step one, we can do this in our kitchen, in your living room, in your backyard. A low distraction area is the best place to start this. And then we're going to start moving into busier places. But you have to build the foundation somewhere. So step one, high value food equals you, and you start moving the other way. So we're trying to answer the question, does the dog even want to be by you? If he doesn't want to be by you, food's going to be your best way of getting him to want to be by you. So we start adding in high value food to make ourselves worth the dog's time. If he does want to be by you and he's interested in you, you try to make yourself more interesting. How do we do that? We start adding movement to the food delivery. So I never want to turn into him. I'm always trying to be very cognizant of my body language. I'm always turning away from the dog and having him want to follow me. So I start moving away. As he gets to me, I start adding in high value food. And we're trying to just speak to the dog's inner DNA, which is follow something, chase something. They're predators. Their nature is predator. Their entire nervous system is built on chasing things, movement. So we're trying to add movement to ourselves. I'm never wanting to force a dog to just stay by me. If I stand still, I'm trying to maintain his engagement with him with food. But I'm trying to really associate myself with movement. The more I can be associated with movement to the dog, the more likely he's going to want to be by me. This is why they chase the squirrel, why they'll stare at the squirrel tree for a long time. They can have patience if there's something in it for them, especially if that something in it for them's movement, speed. If we can start equating ourselves with speed, we're going to start becoming a lot more interesting to the dog. We're also adding in these platforms. These platforms are adding in a jump. Dogs also like jumping, and that's a high-speed movement, jumping on something. So we're trying to associate ourselves with high-value things that the dog actually likes. High-value food, speed, movement, and jumping. Once we can start developing the relationship like this, we can add more to it. But step one is engagement. Does the dog even want to be by you? If he does, start moving around. Start making yourself worth his time. Once you can become worth his time, he's going to start orbiting you. He's not going to let you get too far out of his sight. Once you do that, we can start switching up the environment and start going to new places with this. But if the dog doesn't want to be by you, he's definitely not going to want to be by you in a new, more interesting place. So step one, get him really attached to you where he wants to be by you. Then once he wants to be by you, start adding in movement, jumping on things, targets, and we're going to start associating patterns as time goes on. But step one is engagement's the name of the game. So we're just trying to make ourselves worth the dog's time. If he doesn't want to be by me right now, this is a Pitbull that doesn't really care that much about food and is pretty apathetic when he first got here. So we had to start really upping the food value of rotisserie chicken, hamburger, things like that to start making myself worth his time. Now that we have his engagement, we can start adding in movement. So always think to yourself, does he want to be by me? If the answer is no, add more food value. If the answer is yes, start moving away from him. And while we're moving away from him, we can start shaping things as well, which is follow me, get food, and we can also start shaping a heel, which is just walk on my left side. You can also start shaping a down if you have really good engagement. With holding the food until he offers the down, then we start feeding in the down position. But it all starts with engagement, because if the dog doesn't want to be by you, he's not going to want to work with you. If he doesn't want to work with you, when there's added distractions, he's going to be out of there. So step one, get the dog to want to be by you. Build engagement. How do we build engagement? Food, walking away, movement, jumping on targeted items. This is how we get the dog to want to be by us. Once we get that, we can start moving forward.